She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap.
The same curve. I always run over that. Ah! She's not respectable girl. He's got it on. He's got the dong. He's got the dong. He's got it on. Dong.
Wow.
Dong.
Wow. Hello and good morning to you all. There's maybe an update. I won't call it an update, but it's, an update. Foodie Beauty is apparently uploading or unprivating new videos. I found only one that was privated, and it got unprivated, but people are saying she unprivated a bunch of them, but I don't see all of those. I only see one video that she unprivated, and is the story time about a food addiction or something. So I'll play that at the end of the video. But for now, we'll continue with the updates. There's a creator named I don't know how to pronounce this. Atasi, I don't know. He made a new video, and apparently the video got a lot of things wrong. Now, I haven't watched the video, so I can't say what he got wrong or what he didn't, but that's what everyone is saying on Twitter, that he got a bunch of things wrong, kind of a little off, but overall, it was an okay video. Foodie Beauty's Cameo is unavailable right now for whatever reason. She is not making cameos. She's not accepting cameos. The Cameo app, wherever you go and find her, is unavailable. You can't request any cameos at all. And yeah, I'm working on an introduction of another person. So far, he's not a cow or anything. Like, he's a good guy. But we'll see. I'm working on an introduction right now, so this is just an update. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good day, and see you all later.
My history with weight gain, weight loss, my relationship with food. I thought that I would start from my first memories with my relationship with food, because when I was a baby, I don't remember. I know that I was bottle fed. That's about it. So the earliest memory I can remember regarding food, I think I've said this before, but I remember when I was very young, my mother and I were on our own, and she was a single teenage mom. She was 17 when she had me, and we moved away from the family home, from her mother and father. We were living with them for a while. She wanted to move out on her own and do it on her own, and my father was an alcoholic, so she left him and didn't let him around me for a long time until he sobered up. And things were really difficult. I remember we were on welfare, but I remember we were always very close to one another, and we are still very close to this day. I remember, treats she would get me here and there. I remember my first bag of chips. I don't remember much else about my childhood. I do remember my first bag of chips. It was a sunny day, and there was a corner store across the street, and we went there together, and I remember just looking up at the sky. I had a bag of dill pickle chips, and it had one of those stick-on tattoos in it, and from then on I was just hooked on dill pickle chips. They're my favorite. Overall, my mother did try to feed me relatively healthily. She really tried to, even in school, like I said, it was very rare occasion where I would get a lunch with a lot of good snacks like fruit roll-ups, Dunkaroos, Gushers, those types of things, Lunchables. She usually just gave me like a sandwich and a fruit and a juice box or something like that. Very rarely did I get any unhealthy snacks. So I don't know where I developed this really intense love for these types of foods, but I know that whenever I was spoiled a lot by my grandparents. I remember another memory of her just getting very cross with me and being concerned enough to tell my mother about it. But when she would babysit me, I just remember the food she made me. That's all that I remember, and that comforting feeling about going to her house, and she would sit at the stove smoking and making her sweet and sour meatballs. She made chicken nuggets with this like Diana sauce. I remember loving that. These Magic Moment vanilla puddings and butterscotch puddings. Oh my gosh, those were good. I would ask for more until she yelled at me, and she would say, "C'est assez là," like in French, like that's enough. You already had enough snacks. And she would tell my mother when she would pick me up, she asked, I had to get a bit cross with her because she was asking for a lot of food. And that's all I would look forward to when I would go to see any of my grandparents. My grandmother, she let me just come over and just raid her cupboards. The first thing I would do is go to her cupboards, find snacks, and I think just eating snacks at her place all day long. Anything I do in my life, it would revolve around food. Like whenever I was younger, even going to theme parks, I was always interested in, you go to like, on a school trip, we would go to a theme park and an amusement park, and everyone would bring a packed lunch and not think anything about it. They would be thinking more about the rides. I would be thinking more about the food in the cafeteria, and I would just remember really, really longing for lunch money. Most of the time I didn't get it, but when I did get money, I would just be like, yes, I can buy lunch at the canteen, French fries, whatever. I was always interested in the food. Even at school, the cafeteria food, every day, chicken burger puts in. The chicken burgers were so good. I'd get like 3 packs of mayo. I was just an excessive eater and obsessed with food, and it becomes a habit. It becomes, you just mindless. You don't think about it. It's so part of your life now. I mean, from a young age, you're just obsessed. And because I still think that today there's a little more awareness, but food addiction is still, in my eyes, one of the least understood addictions. Even searching for help with food addiction online in my area, Overeaters Anonymous is pretty much the only thing I can find. Everything else is lumped into addictions counseling, where they mostly list the normal addictions or the addictions that are more well known, like alcohol, drugs, that type of thing, gambling. But you very rarely see somebody specializing in only food addiction. And addiction is addiction, that's true. But food addiction is the only addiction that requires you to have some of your addiction, what you're addicted to, every single day. It's in your face every single day. You can't avoid it. You can't be abstinent from it totally. You can be abstinent from trigger foods, that's for sure. But it's something that it's something that I've just realized not long ago. In all these years of being alive, I'm 34, that I have a problem. I just always never really thought about it, or just thought, I just like food. I overeat. It's something I can get a grip on. I've never realized that it's developed into a disease, an illness. Overeaters Anonymous would even argue that you have to admit that you have no control over it. I'm conflicted with some of their doctrines, so I'm not too sure how I feel about that. But I'm really now just at a point where I'm like, what now? And I'm trying to make sense, I guess, by going in the past and trying to figure out the pattern or where the source of this obsession with food. And when I really think about it, it just was always there. There's no traumatic event that I can think about. I mean, food was just always there, always comforting me through everything in life. Not just one traumatic event, good events, traumatic events, good events, bad times. Every time was covered with the protection of food. Even now, as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about food. I'm terrified of taking that away because honestly, it feels like there's nothing. There's nothing. That's my video yesterday, finding happiness without food. What happiness, you know? It's going to take me a while to realize that there's other things. The other things don't appeal to me right now. The only thing that appeals to me is food. I don't care about, and I know that's such a bad way to think. It's like a lover. It's a dysfunctional relationship because I know food is not my friend. It's not my protection. Ironically, it's the one thing that is doing the opposite of protecting me. It's hurting me. It's killing me. It's made me sick. I have sleep apnea. I have a pretty bad hormonal imbalance that's causing ovarian cysts. And I can hardly walk anymore. It's affecting my relationships with people. And, yeah. So anyways, I'm, you know, this is all just, a lot of realizations are actually happening to me lately, and, that's all I can be grateful for right now is the ability to learn from everything. That's all. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's a bit depressing. That's my reality, and you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are in similar situations who can relate, and you know, I'm doing it for you guys so we can support one another and just keep going.